So today we're gonna be playing Minecraft and just generally just enjoy the view, I guess, and try to be happy during these times. And I haven't been playing Minecraft for a while. I mean, I did come back to the game during the last 2 months, but school these days has been really stressful, and I haven't really gotten the chance to properly enjoy the game as of late. So it's nice to have a little bit of downtime where I can just boot up Minecraft and enjoy my time here. It's a great experience, really, playing Minecraft. I think it's probably one of my most favorite games. That's not the right sentence structure or grammar or whatever, but it's been my favorite game since I discovered it. Probably the OG, the Notch Temple. That was probably one of my first encounters with this game. That was like back in 2014 or something. So yeah, I was about 7. So the game's been around for, let's say, 2/3 of my life, probably. Yeah, and I've never grown out of it. It's such a good game that you can just infinitely replay it over and over again. That's the one thing I really like about Minecraft, is that you can build anything you want, and you can always pick it back up. Single players pretty much the mainstay of the game. I mean, there's multiplayer as well with like mini games and stuff. Really enjoyed playing Bed Wars and stuff with my friends. So that's cool too, but single player Minecraft is just an experience that it's ethereal, really. This game that I've grown up with just really speaks to me. There's tons of cool things you can do, like back in my day, back in elementary school, I used to just generate a world with like a super flat world, and then just go blow up some villages and stuff, or maybe blow up the ground and create a really big hole, and then just spawn like hundreds of iron golems and try to fight them, because the iron golem was like the strongest mob you could get back in the day. Well, now we have the warden and stuff, and it's really cool. These game updates, they keep getting better and better, and I have my own thing too. I can't really be sitting at the computer playing Minecraft all day, and I got other games as well. I'm sure anyone who plays games a lot would also enjoy a great variety of games. And so I didn't really visit Minecraft that often. It's as I've said, it's one of the games that you can just leave and pick up at any time. But there's been a lot of updates, and with these updates come a lot of new features that really can't comprehend, really. I mean, I've experienced them, but, you know, I still haven't discovered everything to know about them. And that's why I'm here. Want to play Minecraft just in my free time as much as I can and try to enjoy myself. Of course, that's pretty much my main goal with this. And I hope you guys enjoy it too, because I'm gonna talk about a lot of stuff on this channel and a lot of personal stuff as well. So yeah, I hope you guys really enjoy this and, you know, share some things about yourself in the comments as well. You know, I'd love to create a community where that's possible. And, you know, I hope no one gets bored of my videos. Even though they, yeah, to be honest, are quite boring. Still though, I'd love to try and just do stuff. Oh, excuse me. I was trying to zoom in there, but I guess the buttons are not there. I installed a bunch of mods, by the way, if you haven't noticed. They're just a few performance mods and like quality of life mods. It's not much to, yeah, it doesn't affect the game much. But yeah, what I want to do with this series is to basically just play Minecraft and talk about my life. And play Minecraft I will, because there's a lot to do in Minecraft, and you know, the game never truly ends. Once you defeat the Ender Dragon and stuff, it goes on, and you know, you get to build all these cool things and farms, redstone, contraptions, big houses. There's tons of stuff you can do in Minecraft. And so each episode would be me doing something and you watching and seeing what kind of new stories I have. I have a few stories actually. Only a few. But yeah, I think they're worth sharing. Could also give a lot of my opinions and stuff, you know. But yeah, that's what I want to do in Minecraft. It's pretty much infinite, the possibilities of this game. And that's what I really like about it. And that's why it never gets old in my mind. I could play it for hours on end, days on end. I could never get bored. And I also appreciate Mojang for developing such a project for such a long time. I mean, the game's as old as me, so yeah. And if you're my parent, you'll definitely know that raising me or like building a game for this long takes a lot of dedication. Oh shoot, there's two spawners. Oh well, anyway, I think I've been walking around this Badlands for quite a long time. It's nice to have a little savannah over there. But I think we need to craft a boat and just kind of survive on the boat. Yep. I'm not gonna be a coward though. Uh, I do know how to fight mobs and stuff. It's just that I don't know. I need a sheep right now. I think I see some sheep over there. Or not see, but yeah, you get what I mean. Anyway, let me talk about my school projects real quick. The situation right now at school, or at college, I should say. It's pretty hectic, all things considered. I didn't really think that I would be here right now, studying in college. It's definitely not something that I would have considered maybe 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah, I just never considered college to be, a path for me. But I'm still trudging on, and it's chaotic and whatever. I've actually had a lot of conversations with myself about college. Yeah, about quitting and not quitting and being in conflict with myself for a really long time. But at the end of the day, I think I'm just gonna stick to college. There's a lot of things I could say about college, really, but the one thing I would like to say is that it's gonna be hard, and it's gonna be stressful and all that, and you're gonna hate it. But I realized that whether or not you do it or not, you're still gonna hate something. If you're staying at home all day, you're gonna hate being at home all day and not accomplishing anything. If you're at school and doing all these pointless assignments, you're gonna hate it. But so you're always gonna hate what you're doing. So just do it. Just do what you hate, and it'll all go away. I think that's probably a lesson that I'll have to learn a lot of times, because college has been really hard for me. A lot of stress placed on me. It's like there's deadlines every single weekend. I thought this was supposed to be better than K-12, but clearly not. I mean, I miss my friends in high school, really. I do miss high school a lot. Think that high school, as hectic as it was, it's not as it's not as grueling as college, I don't think. Like, there's math and stuff, and right now I'm learning education, so I don't have to do math. But there's a charm in math, and I'm actually pretty good at math, so it really doesn't matter that much. And I would love to work with numbers again, but sadly, I'm not gonna be able to, because I'm in college, and college has its own subjects and courses and whatnot. I think I would actually be better attending natural science studies, pursuing natural science studies rather than social because I'm getting my butt kicked in social studies right now. It's so much like speaking and stuff, and yeah, I don't like speaking really. I actually have a really tragic story during my youth. I'd be I'd be in school, and I'd play around like any normal kid. But then, like, for some reason, I don't know, like I'd get called on the board and stuff, and then I'd be kind of ridiculed for my quiet voice. I've always had a quiet voice. Even right now, my mic is enhanced and whatnot. Yeah, I've always been ridiculed by, just like by most people for my quiet voice. Not, well, that would kind of be, no, that would be in bad faith. Yeah, but I was ridiculed back in the day, and some people helped me improve, but I just couldn't do it, man. And I think it's mostly because of confidence or self-esteem and whatnot. I don't think my voice is like this quiet for, I don't know, but I've always been very insecure about it, and I don't know, I just wish that I had a stronger voice, I was more confident, that type of thing. And I can be more confident if I, continued speaking and doing all this. So, yeah, maybe there's some merit to staying in social studies. That's fine, I guess. Yeah. I think that's probably one of the things that I do quite a lot, where I would kind of complain, but then somehow I get out of it by excusing myself with like pretty basic facts and logic. I think a lot of people kind of need that reflection in their lives, because it might lead them down to a really dark path that they can't return from. So yeah, it's nice to just question what you say, like what you yourself say on the daily, how that affects your life, how that affects what you think about others. Okay, I don't know what I'm spitting right now, but yeah, just try to reflect on your life more. Maybe there's some benefit to it, or maybe there's some new perspectives you haven't really considered before. And I think that's one of the ways that I've kind of escaped from like depression. So I just kind of motivate myself to be better and rationally try to make sense of everything. And I do succeed in doing that, and yeah, but sometimes it's really hard on me, and I would still kind of think negatively about myself and about others, it's really hard for me to maintain like an objective position on things when I'm feeling that way. But it's fine, right? I think, yeah, I think it's fine. But yeah, just a little lesson that whatever you do, you should always reflect on it, and try to argue with yourself. Even if it's good, even if it's bad, always try to argue with yourself and find a way to justify what you're doing or what you're saying. That's pretty much one of the best ways you can improve and motivate yourself, and just have discipline overall. That's a really valuable lesson to have, really. And I think I'll be fine in college, really. But if push came to shove and I had to, I don't know, do some bogus stuff that I don't agree with, then I probably would quit on the spot. Probably. But there's another thing about me, which is, I'm not very confident, so, I don't really have the guts to deny anything or anyone, and so that makes it really hard for me to, I don't know, to resist, or, that's really tragic, because I have very, very critical opinions of, the system and all that junk. And really, it's, at the end of the day, I don't think those opinions really matter in the grand scheme of things. The system's already there, and people who have these thoughts are everywhere. It's not just me, and I acknowledge that, and I still think that it's really saddening that we live in a society like this. It's not fulfilling, and it's not fair either. There's a lot of things in society that aren't fair and that aren't just and aren't moral. Like, I don't want to talk about politics, but you know who I'm speaking about when I say that politicians are extremely corrupt and would do anything in order to get more money and stuff like that. And it enrages me, because I've been trying to do good my whole life. I think everybody is. But when we get these people who just do everything for themselves, it's very demotivating. But I read a line in a book recently. Yes, yes, I'm reading a book right now, and in the book it says something along the lines of, nobody cares if it's morally good or not. people want jobs, and you know, people want the most profits, and uh, you know, it's about like outsourcing work to like foreign countries, like in Southeast Asia and stuff, where the standard of living is super low and stuff. And you know, people want the most profits, and with the least amount of money allocated. So you know, it's not like being morally wrong isn't really the best kind of excuse for for these acts, because they know it's immoral, and you know, the system's not fair either way, so why not profit from it? You know, that's a very evil mindset, I know, but you know, it's like, it's kind of right in a way, because really, does anyone really care about morals? I mean, the last time somebody cared about morals, and yeah, I don't know what to say right now, but like, you only really care about morals when you're trying to push something, or like trying to convince people, I guess. But do businesses care about that? Like, do business owners really care about mistreating their employees? Because they're making money either way, and those poor suckers at the bottom, you know, they don't have a job, and they're kind of, you know, in need of a job, so they'll take any wage. Yeah, it's taking advantage of a very broken system. And but is that bad? Because you're still like generating work for people, and like you're encouraging the economy and whatnot. And that really made me think about society as a whole, because you know, we're kind of benefiting off of slavery in a way. Like, all of us are benefiting from some sort of slavery. It's not just like black people, or like, you know, yeah, just not, it's not just that. It's not just like, oh, what? It's not just like race war stuff. It's like a fundamental, like, it's a fundamental system of slavery. I read a book. It's more about like technology and stuff, but there was a section of it that made me really question society as a whole. It's like, there's this guy, I think he was called Frederick Winslow Taylor. He was the inventor of a system that would kind of, you know, it's like a scheduling system or something. I don't remember, but in summary of what it does is that it boosts the efficiency of workers a lot. That was the result of it. And it becomes like, we're kind of like forced to oblige with that system in order to get the most amount of profits and the most amount of efficiency without us ever really realizing it. And so, yeah, is that not morally wrong? And should that be allowed? Should that not be allowed? Like, I have so many questions, and I have no good answers for them at all. It's like, has everything I've done so far been just useless? I don't know. But yeah, it's a lot to think about, because that system has basically forced us into becoming slaves to to time, to efficiency, to maximize profits. And there's also something that I saw that was pretty mind opening, really, is the the concept of a slave and a slave owner. We're still kind of using that to this day, believe it or not, because back in the day, people who had money were slave owners, and they would hire people to work for them. And we're still using that system to this day. Like, we're still slaves at the end of the day. So why are we doing this? Like, why are we still using the system if the system is using us? You know what I mean? Oh my gosh, it's a cross. It's like Herobrine was here. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about that. And yeah,